Hello and welcome to another episode of Silly FWD Builds. Today we are going to be looking at a Dodge Viper competition coupe. We're basically building a front-wheel drive race car. That's what this thing is. I could have opted for the Viper ACR because that is an amazing track car. However, this is a race car, so that'll be even more ridiculous. As you can see, I've already installed TSW Trackstar forerims on them to lighten it just a little bit, but I haven't done anything to actually increase the power or anything. The first thing we need to do to make it all-wheel drive, or front-wheel drive, is we need to make it all-wheel drive. So that's the only way you can make front-wheel drive. I did say that completely wrong. We do want to put twin turbos in it because that will help us add a lot more power to it. Immediately, it adds 98 horsepower, which is very, very promising. Tires, you can't do anything about it. It already has race car tires, so no need to worry about that. Clutch, we need a race clutch. Transmission, we want a race transmission, light driveline, and a race differential. Not that I tune any of that stuff, it's just all good. Race brakes, that's very much essential. All the power, let's see how much we can get out of this engine. That doesn't add too much power. 633, 22 horsepower, pretty good. 17, yeah, that's nice. 24, also good. 78, that sounds good. Sounds very, very good. 18, sure. For a new displacement, we got 35 horsepower, also good. We had lots of power, 850 horsepower right now. 23, I'm gonna say 120 horsepower. So close. There we go. Alright. Intercooler, very important. It disrupts the handling, but it most certainly will make this car go faster. For 52 horsepower. That is very, very, very crazy. We have a 1,031 horsepower front-wheel drive race car. Hello. It is just at the bottom of R1 class. Oh, I didn't mean to hit benchmark, but wow, this car will do 218 miles an hour. I think that has to do a little bit with the aero. But because we have aero, for this, we're going to want all of the aero, honestly. Gearing? Yeah, that looks good. We're not going to worry about that for now. We'll save that. What I meant to do is, I meant to change the differential, the torque distribution. Wow. So no wonder why these cars can be completely understeered, because it's only 55% to the rear, gosh. But put all the torque to the front, and you have a front-wheel drive car. Yeah. So, as per normal, we are going out to Hockenheimring to the short circuit. Normal weather, 4 laps to try to beat the Audi R8 V8's time of 1 minute 13.787. At this point, once you have cars that are super powerful, more often than not, they will beat the Audi, so the car is just there. Actually, honestly, I don't know what it's there for, but hey, 1,000 horsepower front-wheel drive Dodge Viper race car. What could possibly go wrong? Listen to that V10, and look at the background as pixels fail. Ooh, alright. With having twin turbos, it's actually not that bad. Last episode, I drove a Chevy Cobalt that had. I drove a Shelby. I'm saying all these car names wrong. I drove a Chevy Cobalt that had 800 horsepower, twin turbo, and it was absolutely awful to drive. Yet, this actually feels half decent to drive. It's kind of like the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Yeah, acceleration is not as good, but it feels like it actually feels like this is how it's supposed to handle it. I was going to say that I do actually really drive without ABS now, but then I forgot to turn off the ABS. But that's fine, because if you just drive as if the ABS didn't existed, it won't go on. It's perfectly fine. And I think we have already, we're already going to beat the Audi R8's benchmark time, which is to be expected out of this car, because This car handles so well! The front-wheel drive Dodge Viper race car, I thought this was going to be maybe the worst thing in the world, next to the Chevy Cobalt, but no. You respect this car. And it's not hard. You don't have to do so much throttle control, and yet still it drives so pleasantly. That corner there can just be really bad for front-wheel drive cars since you have the weight transfer and all that, but wow! I am fascinated. I am very much fascinated by this car. You may be hearing a lack of emotion in me. That's pretty much because I shouldn't be this loud at the hour that I'm filming. Just like last episode, it's the same case. I can't be that loud. But wow, this car! I'm not even taking it out to its full potential yet still. Acceleration is not crazy, but still, it's fine. The car just, it handles well. It handles so good. Apparently, though, that just means that us Americans haven't done so good with putting 1,000 horsepower in a muscle car than Lamborghini with putting 900 horsepower in it. But I'm gonna say part of that based on weight too, because that's also a factor in these cases. But yeah, turbo lag is not really evident here. You can stamp on it quite nicely, honestly. That's the funny thing with these supercars. When you make them front wheel drive, they can handle it quite nicely. When you put turbochargers and gobs of horsepower in family cars, they absolutely cannot, but this can. This is surreal, honestly. Now that I think about it, though, you're not going to want to drive this car with against the R2 class cars. Probably not, because the cornering it's okay, but you can't use any throttle, just like how I used the throttle right there. I used the throttle right there, and it did fail me. So don't use the throttle when cornering. That's just the one thing that you do need to know with these front-wheel drive supercars. You can just sort of use it ever so slightly just to keep yourself going at the same speed, but you're not using the throttle for much else. But still, I'm impressed. I'm very much impressed. This car can handle 1,000 horsepower, be it in the front or the back, or all the wheels. I like it. I like this quite nicely, honestly. Yeah. Not as much as the Lamborghini, but I do like it. I mean, it's not like I really favor front-wheel drive cars. I do like having rear-wheel drive cars, just like the next person. Because front-wheel drive is just, it can be really, really inconvenient, especially when you're doing close racing, when you have lots of switchbacks. Which I am going to be doing a race with super small hatchbacks tomorrow in a rear-wheel drive car. I could have had the choice of having a front-wheel drive version of that car, but then when I tried that out, I didn't really like it so much, and I spun out very easily, so I have to stick with the rear-wheel drive. Of course, I could opt for a longer wheelbase car, but I don't know, I just want to use the small hatch. Anyway, it's time to go over to Le Mans to check how fast this car will go, but actually before we do that, we are going to check the benchmark, see how fast we can get this car to go. Right now it says it'll only do 213 miles an hour. That would partially be because of the aero, which makes sense. We're going to take all of that off. First of all, we're going to see how fast it'll go with all the aero taken off. We'll see if that's done anything. I'm going to say it's going to whack off 10 miles an hour. It's going to whack off 1. Just 1. Would this be drag limited? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. This car's drag limited. Huh. Oh, no, it's not. It can do 230 miles an hour. Let's drag that some more. Let's see. Will it do any more? 234? Just a little bit more? Maybe you're gonna pull it out just a little bit. I mean, this is not like Forza 5 where you can do the straight up. You you can test the gearing and then it'll give you results, but wow. We're getting a lot. We're still getting results. I'm gonna pull this back really far. This car is probably not gonna do 250 miles an hour, but nevertheless. It's still climbing up. It's like that last gear is just absolutely useless. It's not even an overdrive, it's just useless. Well, we're still... My gosh. This is seriously surprising me. I never had a car that would increase the speed as you increase the gear ratios. Let's just do it all like that and see what happens. It's probably not going to help it any. No, it didn't. So we're going to just fix that just a little bit. I'm going to fix that just a little bit. Let's see, what's that going to be? Oh. Interesting. So we'll pull it back a little bit more. And what do we have now? Yeah, okay. 235 miles an hour, we're gonna go for that. I don't know, is that gonna happen? Maybe. It looks like at that point it becomes drag limited, so... It's a very cool car. It's a very nice car to drive. You know, being front wheel drive. I can't believe that. That's weird. Never had that happen before. Why did I say that? No, I have that. I have had that happen before, the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. This is not going to do crazy burnouts off the line. I know that. Well, it can do that, of course, but... I mean... just the lack of turbo lag. See? At a second gear. Then it stops spinning its wheels. But this car does go pretty fast. I do need to turn off ABS. When I do that, then everything will be perfectly fine, and I will prove myself as a better driver. I think. I don't know. I'm going to the event tomorrow without ABS because I think it might let me get a small edge. Although everybody else will probably not use ABS either, so it's gonna help me out a little bit. Okay, here we go. We have 235 miles an hour to hit. I think it can happen. I think. Then again, I could be wrong though, so I don't know. We're hitting 200 miles an hour in 5th gear, which is quite cool, quite nice. We've already hit 220. Still climbing. Still climbing. Are you gonna hit 230? Please hit 230. Are we gonna make it for the corner? I have no idea. 232. 232, please. 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 No. Okay. I'll make the corner. Hey, and I handled it quite nicely. Okay. Sweet. Alright. 231 miles an hour out of this thing. Quite impressive. Let's get stopped. Let's get stopped. We did not get stopped. Ouch. Sorry, Dodge. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. What have I done to the car? That's no good. Wow. It's a pretty nice car, honestly. Quite surprised, honestly. Yeah. Didn't necessarily expect that to happen. But, wow. I'm quite impressed by it. It's a 1,000 horsepower front-wheel drive Dodge Viper. It handles amazingly. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions on cars that I should do, please let me know in the comments. I may have already done them in terms of just filming them or stuff, or I will be doing them very soon. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. God bless you all, and until next time, goodbye.